What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Our Streamers Cheaters. Today we're going to be taking a look at what happened in the Twitch Rivals tournament yesterday, where a lot of streamers were involved in competing for $250,000. We all know that Tommey likes to call people out while he's live on stream if he believes they are cheating. And during last night's tournament, he decided to call out Metzy B. There's been a little bit of and ahhing around this, and we're going to cover it all in this video. From Tommey calling him out, to Metzy B denying all knowledge of hacks and cheats, to them actually scanning his computer about an hour after he was accused, to then Tommey actually retracting his statement. So we're going to cover it all throughout and see where we go from there. I've been sent quite a few clips, and we're going to try and cover them all today. And hopefully you guys can make your decision on whether or not you believe Metzy B is cheating and why Tommey decided to retract his statement. But before we get started, you know how it goes, guys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you do enjoy the video. Let's try and get this one to 1,000 likes. Also, follow me on Twitter at BadBoyBeeman. This is the best way for you guys to contact me about any streamers who you believe are cheating. Brilliant. Let's crack on with the video. I'm actually going to show you guys the retracted statement from Tommey before we actually show any of the footage, okay? I feel this is the best way to go about it. So I'll read it out for you now. Tommey says, "Fully understand the hate I'm receiving and it's deserved. There just wasn't enough to go by to give my opinion on Metzy B. From the stuff I saw, I believed something was off, but there just wasn't enough for it to go as far as it did and to have everyone saying he cheated. I apologise for that, which will mean very little to a lot of you. And I know that. I didn't want to take it any further, but nobody else seemed to care, bar one or two. And he asked if I'd talked to him so he could prove he was clean, which he did. I'll hold my hands up and admit we were wrong. I'm sorry for letting a lot of you down. I don't know what more to say, but I accept and deserve anything that comes from this. What I'm going to say is that there seem to be a lot of other streamers involved in this situation when Tommey's called out this guy Metzy B for cheating, and now he's retracting it. Almost like now that there are other big streamers involved in the same tournaments who haven't seen the same thing, Tommey's got a little bit worried, a little bit scared in what he's actually said. We're actually going to go on now to watch a couple of clips where Tommey on his stream last night questioned Metzy B and some of his plays. And he actually does this, cross-examines it with Metzy B in the chat whilst questioning him. And he does it with other streamers as well and asks them their opinion. And there are situations where it's clear as day that this guy is locking onto his enemies. Why would Tommey then retract his statements? What other streamers have got an influence in Tommey's decision making here? And that's what you've got to ask yourselves. There's so many ifs and buts when it comes to Tommey. I honestly thought his word meant a lot more, but for some reason he's managed to retract his statements. Now I'm saying all this now and we haven't even actually watched the footage, so we'll revert back to this towards the end. Let's take a look at some of the clips now. This is Metzy B's channel. He's got 14.3k followers. I'm sure that's jumped up quite a lot after last night's tournament. So I'm guessing between then and now he's gained a couple of thousand. Throughout this whole stream you can see new follower, new follower, new follower. So a lot of people believe that this guy is legit. I'm about to show you guys footage which says otherwise. Okay, let's go. This clip shows Tommey discussing with Metzy B how he is lining up his shots whilst the guy is falling from the sky in front of him. And you can actually see that his aim snaps on right at the last second. Tommey does point that out to Metzy B, but for some reason still manages to retract his statement at the end. Watch this clip now in full.
Nobody's aim does that. You've literally got it fine to a T. That when it hits a certain area, your aim sticks at them when you're hitting them. And as soon as you start missing, it then goes everywhere. Like, look at it.
I'm looking at your stream. I'm waiting for it to come up.
Explain this. When you aim in, look at that centering. As you aim in, it fucking locks straight onto his chest as he's flying. Every time you shoot people out the sky, brother, it shows. You ruin yourself when you shoot people out the sky. Look! What is this? What is that? Look at the adjust that your auto aim, your fucking aim lock does.
Yeah, look at my stick. When I'm moving
it doesn't matter about your stick. You're still moving your stick to put your aim on them. Watch it.
Yeah. I'm waiting.
No one's aim does this. Correct there. Look, before you've even gone in aim, I caught you in 4K. 4K.
Tommey caught him in 4K, but still manages to retract his statement. I will say what Tommey is pointing out in this clip is 100% truth. He sees it I see it, and I'm guessing all you guys see it. Actually, before he is aimed down sight, or just as he aims down sight, you see his crosshair lock on to the enemy in front of him. You must have a very small field of view so that it doesn't lock from a certain distance, but at this point, as the guy's falling, you can see him lining that dot up center, and as he aims down sight, it just snaps for that last second until the enemy starts moving a little bit too fast for him, and his crosshair drags almost like it's still locking on, but with a slow smoothness, it would actually not catch up to the enemy at that speed. And as Tommey mentions, he then starts spraying everywhere to try and catch this guy, from having such perfect aim while the guy's falling to then having to spray everywhere once the guy's got out of his crosshairs. That shows very suspicious activity in my opinion, and Tommey caught him in 4K. Let's move on to the next clip. Okay, so we're going to watch Metzy B getting spectated by Doug's Raw, who also seems to think that Metzy B has questionable aim. Metzy B jumps down off the building, tracks the guy through the garage rooftop, not perfectly, but then as soon as he aims at this guy, the guy jumps from the left to the right until the guy is down. Metzy B's crosshair sticks to the enemy chest until he is down, and even with the jump from the left to the right, you see his crosshairs stick to the chest. Watch this now. And Doug's Raw slows it down as well.
I'm watching him die. Watch this shit.
Tracking him there, he knows his location. Watch this stick to his chest. Even as he jumps. Tracks him perfectly with chest shots. He realises he's still tracking him while he's down and decides to actually pull his ADS off the enemy and then go back to shooting him while he's down. Watch it again in full speed.
That again, Jerry.
Watch this shit. Never mind, I'm getting the kill.
You see him track perfectly, although it's only a very small situation. You guys have got to realise that if the aimbot is toggled on, or even if he's just got it set up for light hacks, majority of the time it can actually look legit. It's only situations like that that you've got to realise that it's actually sticking to the enemy's chest perfectly. When the guy is moving the way he does, you would expect it to be necessary for the player shooting, in this case Metzy B, to actually have to strafe or readjust or micro adjust in that situation, and he doesn't seem to have to. He only stops aiming down sight after the enemy is down and then readjusts his aim to finish the guy off. That is Doug's Raw questioning Metzy B's ability. Let's move on to the next clip now, because other streamers are calling him out as well. Let's go. Right, for those of you who know me, you'll know that I had a little bit of a run-in with this Kaylee girl a while back, because she actually had a little bit too much to say about people with mental health issues. I think her actual words were, "Cry me a river." Unfortunately, I've got to use a clip from her stream perspective of Metzy B potentially using wall hacks as well. So she's in a location at this point where Metzy B can't know where she is, and she's asking her teammates throughout if they've actually got a UAV up. Teammates respond, no they haven't, and then a situation occurs where they seem to know her exact location and absolutely laser her, and her reaction is priceless. Watch this.
Do they have UAV?
I don't know. There were UAVs being popped before I did.
They're just nading.
Dude, that was.
Now she's actually got a UAV out here and checks her heartbeat as well. That really irritates me, that.
Goddamn freaking thing.
Moving here.
This dude.
Did they pop a UAV?
How? No. They didn't even have a fucking UAV popped.
So you can see there that she's really not impressed by the fact that they didn't have a UAV pop. Her reaction, again, shows that this guy is cheating. That's from her perspective. Again, we have to realise that there are 2 points of view. Unfortunately, we don't have the clip from the other side of that, so we will never know. However, in this clip, she checks her heartbeat even though she's got a UAV up, and that to me is sus in itself. Let's move on to the next clip. This is the situation with DQ'd, who is on Kaylee's team, and he gets absolutely domed from all the way back in Boneyard. And if you watch the crosshairs of the sniper before the shot's taken, you actually see it locking onto him. Let's watch the full clip now, and we will zoom in on when it actually locks onto. And his reaction's priceless here. He knows full well in his reaction, and you know full well in his reaction, that he knows a guy's cheating. Let's watch.
Guys south of us.
There's this.
I just got sniped in the back from fucking Boneyard, man. Like, dude!
I like.
What?
I like.
What?
I like.
What?
I like.
What?
So you saw that, right? The guy actually aims down sight and doesn't pop his shot off quick enough for it to not look sus. It actually locks onto him. So DQ'd gets locked onto, and you can tell by his reaction with the what? That he knows full well that that should not have happened. This, again, was another cheater. And who was it? Metzy B. And you can see here, just for clarification, Metzy, headshot, DQ'd. In this clip, he actually readjusts his position because he says he's too far away. The reason I believe he adjusts his position is because he knows if he hits his shots too cleanly from too far away with ground loot weapons, people will actually question him more. So he gets a little bit closer, not much closer, and actually still kills two guys, and it snaps from one to the other. Watch the whole situation now and let me know what you think in the comments below.
I can't believe you guys throw me under the bus like that.
Damn.
I tell you there's people and you guys push and run away.
No, I didn't know what was going on, honestly, bro. I was shooting people in the back, like, oh, right here. I can't hit those shots. Give me a second. Hey, let me get closer. Oh my god. What?
Crazy, good job, baby.
So you saw that then. He talks about getting a little bit closer so that he can hit his shots. Still has zero recoil, and you actually see a snap from one enemy to the other in the process. And he goes, oh my god. Like, you can tell by his reaction that he's shocked himself and get a little bit worried about it as well. Let's go back and watch it again. So from this point, he jumps across to the garage in front, giving him probably, what, 5 meters less distance between him and the enemies. He locks onto that enemy there. As that guy's instantly downed, it switches to the enemy on the left, and he downs him instantly as well.
No, I missed! Fuck!
Luckily, he gets shot on by that guy, so at least that's a positive, yeah? But you can see it there, clear as day, that he's snapping from one enemy to the other because they are so close together. They both must have been within his field of view that he has set up on aimbot, if he's using aimbot. That's my opinion anyway. I genuinely believe this guy is snapping onto people, and it's clear as day in the clips we've already seen, and we're going to be showing you some more now. So let's go and take a look at some more clips of Metzy B looking extremely suspicious. Now, this clip demonstrates a little bit of a trickier situation for us to actually see with the naked eye. I'm hoping to try and slow it down a little bit for you guys to understand exactly what we are seeing here. So at first, he shoots the guy that's directly in front of him who's just killed his teammate. Then there's another guy to the right, and his aim sort of adjusts to that person. But as that enemy runs out the door on the right, it's almost as if Metzy B's aim sticks to the guy and he continues to shoot him through a wall. Watch him fast, and then we'll try and slow it down as well. Did you see that then? No? Right, okay. We'll go back a little bit. So from shooting this enemy here, it flicks onto that enemy, who's then already gone out that door there, but his aim seems to continue. Still getting hit markers through the wall there as well. And then he realises and lets go of his ADS and gets out of there. So we'll watch it again. So from here, that enemy is already escaping out of that door on the right. And his aim continues to lock onto that enemy as he goes out that door. That's my opinion. What do you guys think of that? Let's take a look now at other clips. Now with this clip, you can see a lack of recoil in his gun. He goes from shooting one location and it snaps to another exactly at the perfect time an enemy appears. Watch this whole clip now. If that doesn't show that this guy is locking onto enemies, I don't know what does. Let's go back and watch it again. So from here, shooting a vehicle, I believe it is. breaks an armor, and now here's the enemy here, just appeared, and it locks right there, and it doesn't stop there, continues to drag across, and he realizes at that point that it looks extremely suspect because he pulls away. He's got 3 bullets still left in the chamber. Them 3 bullets, as he's just broke this guy's armor, would have finished him off. Why wouldn't he finish him off there? Instead, he sits down to reload, even though he still had sight on the enemy where he could have got 3 more bullets on him and finished him. You see there, that's probably where his last bullet is. Enemies here. So from there to that building, he could have got 3 more bullets off. Even if the guy went behind the building or behind this, he could have got 3 more shots off on this guy. But instead, he decides to stop aiming down sight and stop shooting at him, even with 3 bullets left. Personally, I believe he realised that he was locking on there, and the guy who he was shooting at would have realised that as well, and either reported him or called him out. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. This is one of my favourite clips of what I've found from Metzy B actually appearing to use aimbot. And you can see while he's using the Mac 10, he switches in a second on his weapons to the Mac 10 after calling out exact locations of enemies. We don't know whether or not that he's seen these on a UAV prior to this clip, so we're not going to mention that. He calls a guy out for being in this one here, one on the left, and then he seems to pre-aim the corner just in between, but not enough so that it was perfectly aimed, and it seems to lock on and snaps from the left to the right onto the enemy. Watch it now, and we will watch it again, zoomed in, and you'll be able to see it perfectly.
Okay, so yo, there's one in here, I think, and there's one in here. So you gotta be careful.
So now watch this.
Left, right.
No.
So if you guys that did not see that, from here, we will press play and zoom in, and you'll see the snap.
Left, right.
No.
That is no way, in any shape or form, aim assist. Not whatsoever. That is locking on. Locking on, okay? From here, you see it very minutely snap on. From here, this is the position where it snaps from. Ready?
Left, right.
No.
Let's watch it again.
Left, right.
No.
It's a very small field of view that he's using, but it definitely snaps onto the enemy in that position, and there's no way you can tell me that's aim assist, because it isn't. Not whatsoever. What do you guys think of that clip? Do you think you can debunk that? Do you believe that that's aim assist? Honestly, if you do, you need to go and research aim assist. If you need to go and research aimbot and come back with an actual answer, fair enough. But that, to me, there's no other explanation for it. That's Metzy B locking onto people with a low field of view. This clip clearly shows him locking onto people, and it's switching between people as people are getting down, and you can tell that his aim lock is struggling when there's a riot shield involved. So watch it now, and then we'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit closer up as well.
Oh, they're all in here.
Oh my god, there's a riot shield. Another one? What in the fuck is that?
As you saw then, it locks onto the first guy, it locks onto the second guy. As the guy goes down to the floor, it continues to lock. He then moves across to the third guy who's coming out, but that guy has a riot shield, and the lock can't actually hit any part of the body, and you can see it struggling. And then he jumps down, switches to a shotgun, and finishes the other 2 guys off. I'm not denying that this guy's got ability. What I will say is that I see what I see in the actual aim locking mechanism, and there's no denying that. So let's watch it again now, but zoomed in.
Oh, they're all in here.
Oh my god, there's a riot shield.
And that is in no way, shape or form aim assist. This is the moment where He's already been accused, I believe, by Tommey, and his own teammates, Metzy B's own teammates, decide to tell him to allow the tournament hosts to scan his computer for any potential programs running in the background. And he seems a little bit off. He seems to avoid their whole conversation and then goes on to say, oh, they're just not going to let us play or something like that. Listen to the clip now.
Can't risk having that in our tournaments.
Well, why don't you just tell them to scan your computer?
I didn't mean to ban this person.
Like, if they honestly think you're cheating, just scan the computer.
Yeah, you have to tell them that, dude. That's like our only option.
We're
Like,
out.
this is-
We're out. Like, we're not. They're not gonna let us in, I guarantee.
That's his full reaction. His teammates are asking him to let them scan his computer to prove he's not cheating. That get him and his team out of the shit and clear his name at the same time. Okay? But his reaction just seems to be a bit blasé, a little bit reluctant in a sense that he doesn't even want to engage with his teammates in a conversation about it. And then when he finally does at the end, he's like, oh, they're just not going to let us in. And again, like, it's one of them where, is that reaction him absolutely gutted that something's happened because Tommey has actually accused him and he's actually innocent? Or is that him being guilty and trying to figure out what he needs to do now to remove the files from his computer or the USB port or anything like that before he allows anyone to actually go on and scan his computer? Now, they did manage to actually finally get to a point where they scanned his computer, but between this moment and then, there was some time where anything could have been deleted. And when I say deleted, all it takes is for the USB to be removed from a USB port, and there's no evidence of that cheat being injected on the computer because it's not there. It's saved on the USB port. And that's what these guys are doing. So we've seen the clips. We've seen the sus moments. We've seen the snapping on. We've seen potential wall hacks from the Kaylee point of view as well, after he sniped her teammate clear as day, locking onto him as well. So it's very questionable. Why has Tommey decided to retract his statement? What is going on in the background? Who has contacted Tommey and said you need to retract your statement? Have the 100 Thieves told him to do it? We don't know. Have one of his other up-and-coming streamers told him to do it? We don't know. Have one of his idols, who's a big streamer, told him you need to, watch your back? We don't know. As Tommey stated in the past that he would not call someone out if he was not 100% sure. He actually said this about Pacesetter.
I would never sit on stream and put all this shit up if I was not 100%.
Now, I personally know, after watching Pacesetter, that he 100% uses wall hacks and possibly a soft aimbot as well. And Tommey was right in calling him out. But why has he retracted his statement now when all of a sudden he's not 100% right anymore? The guy's gone from being 100% right and 100% adamant every time he calls someone out to calling someone out with the same amount of positivity, the same amount of 100% certainty towards Metzy B. And now all of a sudden retracted this statement. Why? What is going on in the background that we don't know about? Something fishy is going on, in my opinion. I agree with everything Tommey said about Metzy B. As the guy was coming in front of Metzy B earlier on in the clips, he manages to shoot him and lock onto him, and you see it actually locking on to centre mass. And that's my opinion. And Tommey gave his opinion, and his opinion was golden. I, for one, am not bothered about what shit comes my way, because I see it as it is, and I say it how it is, and it's simple as that. Guys, if you have enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. Remember, we are trying to get it to 1,000 likes. I think we can do it. Brilliant. Also, drop a comment below and let me know what you think about the whole situation. There were a couple of other call-outs of people cheating in last night's game. There was a couple of disqualifications as well for the same thing. So we're going to be taking a look at them in future videos as well. So drop your comments below, let me know what you think. Also, if you are new, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. If you want to support the channel further, hit the blue join button today, become a paying member of the Triple B fam. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at BadBoyBeeman, the best way for you guys to contact me about any streamers who you believe are cheating. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace. Peace.